So, today we are continuing over the previous lecture, previous lesson, hypocrisy and its type. We are continuing it because previously in the previous week we were doing the worksheet, and from that week we were doing the topic. So, who is going to read this one? Are you guys listening me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes, Subhan, can you read this one? Subhan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you read this one?
Okay, sir. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said four characteristics make anyone who possesses them a sheer hypocrite. Anyone who possesses one of them possesses a characteristic of hypocrisy till he abandons it. When he talks, he lies. When he makes a covenant, he acts treacherously. When he gives a promise, he breaks it. And when he quarrels, he deviates from the truth.
Okay. So, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Remember, we discussed this paragraph in the last class. I add this paragraph in this lesson to connect this topic with the new things. So, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that four characteristics make anyone a sheer hypocrite. Okay. These four characteristics, who possess them, who has
Assalamualaikum,
them,
sir.
Walaikum Assalam, the person who has these four characters or contains these characters. So the four characteristics make anyone a complete hypocrite. The person who has or who contain these characteristics. So four characteristics make anyone who have them or possesses them a sheer hypocrite. Okay. So the word sheer or sheer is means fully or completely. So these four characteristics make anyone a complete hypocrite. The first thing is anyone, anyone who possesses. Okay, we will come to it first one, but anyone who possesses one of them. So there are four characteristics. If someone has any one characteristic among these four, then possesses a characteristics of hypocrisy till he abandons it. So if anyone has this characteristic, if anyone has a single characteristic of that hypocrisy, that person is basically on the path of hypocrisy. So when when till when that person will on the path of that hypocrisy, till he abandons it. Abundance means leave it. Okay, left it. The abundance houses, the people who left those houses, these are the abundance houses, nobody is living in those houses. So the person is the person is completely a hypocrite if it contains one, two, three, or four characteristics of these hypocrites. So if anyone contains any one or two characteristics, then they are also considered as on the root of hypocrisy. So, the first characteristic is when he or she talks, he or she lies. They always tell a lie. Second thing or second symbol or the second sign of hypocrisy is when he makes a covenant, he acts treacherously. Okay, when he makes a covenant, okay, the covenant. The word covenant here means if you are making any legal framework, any legal promise, okay, or any legal thing, if you are legalize anything, then they will act poorly and they will not fulfill the promise. Okay, so covenant is not a promise like thing, but it is more than it. For example, if someone is living at the rent, so they also done the agreement. Covenant is basically the agreement. So they did not do the promise. Is landlord or the tenant, the person who gives the rent is a tenant. They make a promise to give rent to each other. Okay, make a promise to give the rent to the landlord. No, they make an agreement. So whenever Whenever the hypocrite makes a agreement, he act treacherously. The meaning of that word means to break things. Okay, do not consider his or her words, that what they are saying. The third thing is when he gives a promise, he or she breaks it. Whenever he makes a promise, he or she breaks it. Okay. In the old times, at the time of war, there are so many agreements are done. There are so many promises are done. Agreements like the person, for example, two kings are fighting, and they make an agreement that when the one king is defeated, the other will do this thing and not harm the family of the king, or do not harm the children and the women. So in this way, this type of agreements are also formed. But when a munafiq, the hypocrite, make a agreement, they never fulfill those conditions on which they are agreed upon earlier. Okay, so whenever he or she gives a promise, he or she breaks it. And the fourth thing is when he or she quarrels, he deviates from the truth. When he or she quarrels, the word quarrels means to fight. Okay, so fight in any sense, by mouth, by physical fight, or any war. So he or she deviates means moving from the truth, or awaying, leaving the path of truth and move towards the path of lie. So whenever quarrels begins or quarrels done, he or she is
Sir,
he or she deviates. So yes.
I was asking that you were saying that if a hypocrite agrees on a paper, then he doesn't do it. So if he disagrees on the paper, he will do it.
What are you saying? Your voice is not coming. What did you said in the last?
Like, sir, if a hypocrite it's a agreement and he disagrees it, then he will do it.
No, if they make an agreement that we can do this thing, they will not fulfill the agreement conditions. Okay. For example, two kings are fighting. One king is hypocrite, and they decided that when anyone's win, they will not harm the family of the king of the defeated king, and they will not harm the defeated king's women's and children's. But if someone is hypocrite, they will agree on the things. But when they win, what they will do? They will kill or do not consider the agreement. They will not fulfill the conditions of the agreement. Any type of agreement can be done, okay? But they will not fulfill or do not perform the conditions of the agreement because they are munafiq, because they are hypocrite, okay? So they are like this from their heart. They are like this from their heart because they are munafiq. That's why Allah said them that they have to be live in the corner of the hell. That's why Allah said them that they will be live or burn in the corner of the hell because of this thing. Yes, understand, or any more question?
Sir,
No, sir.
no, sir, understand. For example, sir, listen. Sir, for example, a hypocrite disagree the convent from mouth. Just he say that I will not agree this agreement. Then what he will do?
Okay. For example, for example, if someone makes a agreement of not doing anything, you are saying this thing.
No, sir. I'm saying that if we make an agreement and some people disagree, for example, hypocrite disagree to do that. In
Okay.
future, hypocrite will do that or not?
Okay. So there is one more thing. Hypocrite normally do not break their promises, do not break their agreements. They wait for a specific time. In Urdu we can say वो मौके का इंतजार करते हैं. They wait for a chance. They wait for a chance when the other person get weak, or when they get any weak point, then they will do or betray. Then they will betray that agreement, and then they will break the agreement. Otherwise, they are performing everything like the other one. In the same way, they are living us with the Muslims. They all look like Muslims. When they come to know that someone is weak or some weak point, they know someone's weak point, then they will start performing their characteristics. For example, if you are saying that, for example, the agreement is made and someone breaks the agreement, they will never breaks the agreement when the other person is strong, because they are munafiq. They are not brave, they are not strong, they are just clever in the sensitivity of negativity. Okay, they are clever in the sense of negativity. Okay, cleverness and wiseness is a very good thing, but if someone use his or her cleverness in the negative meanings, then this thing will make the person munafiq. Okay, so they are very much clever, but just in the negativity sense. They always think negative, and they never breaks the agreement when the other party, the other person is strong. They will never break it. They will wait for a chance so that they will get any weak point of the other, then they will break the agreement. Otherwise they will perform very well.
Yeah, but how we will know a person is hypocrite? Like I know someone, but he doesn't lie to me. He doesn't promise to me. So how I will know he is a hypocrite or not?
Okay, so okay, if anyone is not lying to you, so it means that characteristic is not in them. But the second thing is that, for example, if you are talking about person A, B, C, X, Y, Z, okay, let's consider it. You are talking about person X, Y, Z. So person X, Y, Z never tells a lie. Okay, so you are saying the first characteristics is not in them. Then you will check they are making the agreement completely or not. If they are breaking the agreement, then breaking the agreement in any condition is a form of the hypocrisy. For example, they are fulfilling the agreement, okay, and for example, they give you the promise. The promise are of anything. It's not necessary that that you will make, or the person hypocrite will make a big promise. They will sometimes make a small promise and breaks it. Like, we will meet in the evening, and in the evening they will tell you I am not at home, although they are at the home. So they will break the promise. For example, you have a cricket match and you have to go to the on the match in the evening, and at the evening that person is saying no, I'm not available. At the daytime they are saying that I am available, so they break the promise. It's nothing matter to them that the promise is big or small. Okay, for example, sometimes what happen when we go to any shop, the shopkeeper is making a promise. They are saying, by God, I swear by God that this cloth is very good, this fabric is very good. So that person is basically make a promise, and they know if the fabric is not good, then that person is basically breaking a promise by saying it. So that person is also the munafiq. So there are so many ways. So that person, for example, someone is selling a milk and add the water in it and making a and saying to people that I swear, by God I swear, I didn't put any water in the milk. So that person is basically making a promise which he always breaks. So that person is also the munafiq, the hypocrite. So any type of promise, someone said anything, and this is not the way that if someone said anything and breaks it for the one time, they become hypocrite. But when this thing will become the habit, for example, someone is habitual of breaking the promise, then that person is a hypocrite. Okay, for example, you ask someone or make a promise 5 times. Out of five, that person 3 or 4 times breaks it or never completes it. So it means that person is on the track of the hypocrisy, because that person has a characteristic of breaking a promise. Understand, Ryan? Everybody understand this thing?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move to the next one. Let me move the screen to the next one. Okay.
So can I read?
Okay. Yes, Yavis, you can read this paragraph.
Therefore, whoever bears these four habits has actually collected all sorts of evil and all traits of hypocrites. However, a man who bears one of them is characterized by one trait of hypocrisy. In fact, a man may bear some good and faith traits and some bad and hypocrisy ones.
Okay. So, so who bears? Anyone who have these four habits has actually collected all sorts of evil and all traits of hypocrites. Traits means qualities, the personalities. The personality traits means the personal qualities. Okay. Some people talk very fast, some people talk very slow, some people get angry in less than a second, some people never get angry. Okay. So the qualities are different. So, in the same way, the the quality of the hypocrites are four characteristics which we see. When they speak, they tell a lie. When they make agreement, they break it. And when they make a promise, they also breaks it. When they fight or quarrels, they always switch from the truth towards the lie. So, whosoever has all these four habits, that person actually collected all sorts of evil. Okay, and that person has all the personality qualities or traits of hypocrites. However, a man who bears one or two of them, so out of four, if someone has only one or two characteristic, then that person is characterized by one trait or two traits of hypocrisy. As I told you, that that person is not a hypocrite, but that person is moving on the route of hypocrites. It's like a cigarette. Okay, like a cigarette. Cigarette is a bad thing, smoking is a bad thing, cigarette is injurious to health. But in a modern times, cigarette is a way towards other drug addictions. Okay, cigarette is a small way towards the big drug addiction. So never ever move towards that path. Why? Because the small thing will lead you towards the big issue. In the same way, let's suppose the cigarette is taking anyone to the dangerous things and the other drugs. Okay. In the same way, the minor shirk takes the person away to the greater shirk. In the same way, the one trait or two traits of hypocrisy will take the person towards the path of hypocrisy, and ultimately person, if didn't stop him or herself, then that person will become the complete hypocrite after gaining all the four characteristics. In fact, a man, the person who has only one or two traits, it means right now that person has only one or two traits, completely he or she is not a hypocrite. In fact, that man may bear some good and faith traits. It means that in the heart that person has some good and iman traits and some bad and hypocrisy ones. So till now that person doesn't have all four. It means that that person has some good and the imanful things, and that person is also has some bad and the hypocrisy one ideas. So that person has to stop him or herself on that part, so that that person will not go towards the root of the hypocrisy. So that person who has only one or two traits of hypocrisy, they are not considered as a hypocrite, but they are on the root of the hypocrisy. Okay, so everyone should be saved from the hypocrisy. Okay, so everybody understand this thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, so okay, let me make it like this. Okay, Ryan, can you read this one?
Okay, sir. Moreover, he deserves to be rewarded and punished according to what he has performed, from what these traits may lead to, such as laziness in performing salat, prayers in the mosque, because this is a sign of hypocrisy.
Okay, so the book is saying that moreover he or she deserves to be rewarded and punished. So that person is also has good and that person also has bad things. The person who has only one or two traits, okay, of hypocrisy, so that person has some good things and some has bad. On the good thing he will be rewarded, and on the bad thing they, that person will be punished according to what he or she has performed, from what these traits may lead to. So it depends that what these things will moving or taking that person towards in which direction. Okay. So such as laziness in performing salat in the mosque, because this is a sign of hypocrisy. For example, if someone is lazy in performing salat, okay, let's first consider performing the salat in home or in the room. Okay. For example, if someone is performing a salat in room, okay, and not going to mosque, okay, but they are performing the salat in room, lazy, very lazily they are performing it, and they are very much lazy in performing the salat in room. So sometime what will happen, that person will miss some namaz or some salah because of this laziness. Why? Because they are on the root of it. The person who is lazy, they will not take care of it. The person who run, who rush towards the namaz or the salah when the azan calls out from the mosque, that person will never make him or herself the lazy. Why? Because that namaz, that azan is making them rush, so that they are performing the salat. But someone is making laziness, okay, I will perform salah after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, after 20 minutes. So this thing will make towards the laziness. And when the person become lazy performing a namaz in the mosque or in the room, then this is also a sign of hypocrisy. Why we perform the namaz? It's because of the Allah. Okay. And the best namaz or the best salah is that when it is performed on the time. At what time food is good? When the food is served, it should be very hot, so that we can enjoy it very much. When the food is served and it is very much cooled down and very hard to eat, will you enjoy it? No. You go to restaurant, they will give you the food without heating up. Okay, the food is very much cooled down, you will eat it? No, it will not look good. Okay, you can only see it, but it's not good to eat. So in the same way, you perform the salah with the laziness, it's performed, but it's not give the actual meaning. Okay, you perform the salah because you know very well that Allah needs salah. Allah needs salah. Allah say us that we have to perform salah, but you are not rushing towards the salah. Okay, you should have to. So laziness in the salah is also the sign of hypocrisy. Laziness in the sign of hypocrisy. And remember one thing, Allah doesn't need salah. Allah does only help us. Allah does not need us. There are so many people in this world, those who say they doesn't believe on Allah. They say they doesn't believe on Allah, and Allah doesn't care about them. The person who say they don't believe on Allah, Allah doesn't care about them. So Allah don't need us, we need Allah, so that we need to perform salah. Okay, so whenever we need help, whenever we need any sort of help, financially, physically, virtually, or spiritually, so we need ask Allah. So that's why we perform salah. Everybody understand this thing? Are you guys listening me? Everybody understand this thing? Are you guys listening to me? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Saim, can you read this one?
Yes, sir. It is actually a dangerous evil from which the messenger companions were afraid not to fall in. Ibn Abi Mulaka said, I saw 30 of the messenger's companions were all fear hypocrisy, differences between major and minor hypocrisy. Major hypocrisy excludes out of Islam, while minor one does not. Major one means the contradiction in
Secrecy. Secrecy. Secrecy.
secrecy and open secrecy and openness due to belief and religious doctrines, while in the minor hypocrisy, the the contradiction is due to performing rituals excluding doctrines.
Okay, so in this, what we see, it is dangerous evil. What is dangerous evil? The hypocrisy is a dangerous evil from which the messengers, friends, and the companions are the sati, the messenger's companion and the friends were afraid of not to fall in the hypocrisy. Okay, Ibn Abi Mulaika. Ibn Abi Mulaika said, I saw 30 of the messenger's companion were all fear hypocrisy. Okay, because sometimes the person is doing the hypocrisy behavior or the hypocrisy trait, and that person even doesn't know that they are performing the hypocrisy traits. So the difference between major and the minor hypocrisy. So you know very well, the major and the greater both are the same words. Okay, so major hypocrisy excludes out of Islam. The word exclude means taking out, getting someone out. Okay, so major hypocrisy excludes out of Islam. The person who does the major hypocrisy means all the four characteristics are in it, that thing will getting that person out from the Islam, while minor one does not. But it doesn't mean that person is safe. That person is on the route of excluding or the route of getting out from the Islam. So it should be necessary that not to go on that route. Okay, the second one is, the second difference is major and the minor hypocrisy is, major one means contradiction. The word contradiction means opposite. It's the opposite or the reverse. Major one means the contradiction in secrecy and openness. The secrecy means the secret, the things which are khufi, or secret or not visible or to anyone. Okay, so major one means, major one means contradiction in secrecy and openness due to belief and religious doctrines. Okay, while in the minor hypocrisy, so major one means the person not making anything in secret, that person is become saying anything in the openly because of the belief that person is believing. While in the minor hypocrisy, the contradiction is due to performing rituals. Okay, so the person's acts are changing, that person is saying something and performing something else. So in the minor one, what will happen? The person will say something else and do something else. But in the major ones, the person is fully performing the things opposite than the secrecy, contradiction and secrecy, due to belief and the religious doctrines. Okay, the word doctrines means the, if you think, consider this word as a normal thing, that the what we can say, a syllabus. If you say syllabus, a complete syllabus, so it's kind of a doctrine. Okay, the religious doctrine, the religious syllabus. While in the minor hypocrisy, that person is saying something else and performing something else. So we discussed two difference. The first difference is major hypocrisy, getting anyone out from the Islam, while the minor one does not. And the second difference is major one perform the activities openly without secrecy, while the minor hypocrites say something else and perform something else. They will normally say the things which are liked by most of the people. Okay, but they will perform something else. This is the minor hypocrisy. Okay, everybody got it?
Sir, I don't understand it.
The last one. Okay, did you see the politicians? Do you know the politicians?
Sir, this paragraph I don't understand.
I am telling you this paragraph. The last point you are talking about. Did you know the politicians? What does politicians do?
Sir, there are in news and this. I don't have much information about them.
Okay, politicians do the politics. That's it. Do you know them or not? Are you there, Ryan?
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I am hearing you. Politicians do the politics. That's it. If I say politicians fly the pilots, fly the planes, no, they will do the politics. But if you see, majorly all parts of the world contains the politicians. All part. The whole world, the whole earth, all the countries have the politicians. There are so many politicians in this world, those who say anything, who say the things which look good to the person, but they perform against it. So that persons, that politicians are also doing the minor hypocrisy. They are saying anything from the mouth, that anything is look good from the mouth. They will make promises from the people, they will do this, they will do this, and when they get into the power, they will not doing anything, saying good thing from the mouth but not performing it. This is also considered as a minor hypocrisy. I am just saying this. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now the time of the period is finished. The assignment is available there for you. Everybody open the assignment and do the assignment. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will meet in the next class inshallah. Okay.
Assalamu
Bye
alaikum
everyone.
wa rahmatullahi wa
Walaikum assalam.
barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam, Simon. Okay.